Friends, today we are starting our next chapter, that is Tom Dispenses Justice. Your chapter number 9, Tom Dispenses Justice. This Tom Dispenses Justice, your chapter, it is written by this Mark Twain. Mark Twain was his pen name, and his actual name is this Samuel Langhorne Clemens. Mark Twain was a humorist, playwright, publisher. He was lauded as the greatest humorist the United States has produced. Means वो बहुत ज़्यादा humorist थे. And his story, The Prince and Pauper. Your chapter, the Tom Dispenses Justice, has been taken from this, The Prince and the Pauper. The Prince and Pauper, we must have seen that movie, Raja aur Rang. Same story is of this Tom Dispenses Justice. Tom Dispenses Justice means dispenses, here the title is Dispenses. Dispenses means distributes. In this chapter we will see how Tom distributes justice, how Tom divides justice. So here we go. Now Tom Dispenses Justice, as we know this, जैसे Raja और Rang's story में we have seen that Raja has become Rang and Rang has become Raja. Those two identities, the prince and the pauper, they were exchanged. Likewise, in the same story, in this story, this prince and this pauper, they have been exchanged. They have exchanged their lives. Now the pauper has become prince and prince has become pauper. This prince, his name is Edward. Now Edward has exchanged his life with this pauper, and pauper's name is Tom. Tom and Edward, they wanted to see the differences. They wanted to see what is their life, because prince wanted to become a pauper for some time and pauper wanted to become a prince for some time. So they exchanged their lives, and now we'll see what will happen. Now Tom, as he was a pauper and he became a prince, so it is difficult for him to work as a prince because there are many responsibilities, many duties of prince. So it was impossible, and it was very different type of experience this pauper was going through. Now what happened? This here we go. Tom Dispenses Justice, as I told you, it means Tom distributes the justice, Tom divides the justice. Now, narrator. By now, Tom was getting used to the ways of the palace and his role of the king. Now, role of the king is mentioned means he was not a king, but he was working as a means, he was doing his role of a king. अब तक it means अब तक Tom को लग गया था पता what are the ways of the palace, कैसे how we reside in the palace, how we live in the palace, and कैसे role of the king क्या होता है. By now it has become clear to him. Then one day he waited for the court to begin. He saw there was an unruly mob outside the gates, cheering and jeering at something. This fired Tom's curiosity. Now what happens? He was sitting in his court, and the usual court was about to begin. Then what happened? Then after some time he heard some noise from outside. Some people were jeering and mocking on someone. Mocking means when we laugh at someone in a very funny style, in a very different style. Laugh is different, mocking is different. Laugh जब हम हंसते हैं, mocking when we laugh at someone but in a very, you can say, but in a very different way. Okay, जैसे मजाक उड़ाना in the sense. Then what happened? Then usual court was about to begin. तो उसने देखते कि बहुत ज़्यादा mob जो बहुत ज़्यादा लोग हैं वो किसी के पीछे they are following some people. Okay. अब now for this fired Tom's curiosity. अब Tom बहुत curious होता है कि what is happening outside the palace, because so much commotion is there. So this fired Tom's curiosity. Tom to Hertford. Okay. The main characters in this story they are Tom, this Hertford, sheriff, a woman, a girl, and a man. Now, then he asked Tom to Hertford, go and find out what the commotion is about. Commotion means noisy disturbance, commotion and excitement, you can say. Now this Tom, he asked this Hertford, go and find out what the commotion is about. Kya shor sharab hai? Go and find out that. Then, narrator. This story is narrated by this narrator. You can say he is the main character because he is narrating the story. Then, Hertford returns in a short while. After some time, Hertford returns. Then, her food. Your Majesty, the crowd is following a man, a woman and a young girl who are to be executed for their activities against the kingdom. Now this Tom has sent this her food and her food came back. Then he says कि ये जो crowd है, they are following a man, a woman and a girl because they are to be executed. They have done some activities that are against the kingdom, so they are to be executed. अब उनको क्या करना है, उनको क्या करना है कि उनको पनिशमेंट देनी है बिकॉज उन्होंने कुछ एक्टिविटीज ऐसी की हैं दैट आर जो किंगडम की अगेंस्ट है. देन टॉम शॉक्ड एंड ओवरकम बाय अ वेव ऑफ पिटी. अब नाउ ही इज अ पॉपर और किंग की तरह उसका हार्ट दैट इज नॉट स्ट्रॉन्ग, तो उसको बहुत ज़्यादा अजीब सा लगता है कि उसको बहुत पीटी, उसको बहुत दया आती है. देन ही सेज हैव देम ब्रॉट हियर एट वंस. अब उनको बोलते हैं कि जल्दी से उनको यहाँ पर ब्रॉट देम एट वंस, अभी लेकर आओ. देन नरेटर soon the court starts to fill up with officials waiting for the formal court to begin. Tom however pays no heed and waits patiently as Okay, now what happened? The official court was about to begin, Now this Tom pays no heed that court is begun and officials are waiting for him. But he started to think about those were to be executed. तो वो उनकी wait करना start करता है. The guards bring in 3 prisoners. Now look at this picture. This is Tom, this is a man and women and a young girl, a poor young girl. Now, the guards bring in the 3 prisoners. Now the guard goes and they bring these 3 prisoners. Now look at this picture. As the prisoners come in and kneel down, जैसे prisoners आए वो kneel down means bent over their knees. Tom is convinced he has seen the man before in his days as a pauper. अब now Tom ने इस man को देखा and now he remembered that when he was a pauper, जब वो pauper था, then he reminded of this person कि इसने क्या किया था. He saved his friend, उसका friend था Gilberts, he saved him from drowning in the Thames River. Means वो Thames River में drown होने वाला था, but this man saved. He soon recognizes him as the man who had saved his friend Gilswit from drowning in the Thames River, name of the river. Then, Tom, take the women and girl to the next chamber. I need to know more about this man's offense. Now, Tom orders that this women and girl, they should be sent to next chamber because he didn't want this thing that they should know what is the decision of whether the king is cruel or king is kind. So वो क्या करता है, he orders that these women and girl they should be sent to next chamber. Next, sheriff, he killed a man. Now this Tom says that he wants to know this man's offense. और Tom क्या बोलता है कि मैं इस man का offense I want to know. Then sheriff, he killed a man by poisoning him, your majesty. Now अब sheriff क्या बोलता है, this man is accused of killing a person by poisoning him. Now this was this man's offense and due to this offense this man was supposed to be executed. Now Tom says this thing, sheriff says he killed a man by poisoning him, your majesty. Now Tom, is the proof indisputable? Now this Tom says क्या ये ऐसा proof है without any doubts? Indisputable means without any doubts. तो ये Tom asks this thing कि क्या ये ऐसा proof है that is indisputable on which we can't doubt. Prisoner flinging himself on his knee and wailing. Now look at this prisoner. A prisoner बोलता है I beg your mercy, great king. I have been wrongfully accused. I am not asking to be let off, only to change my sentence to hanging. Of this person. Now it was कि these 3 persons are to be executed, but this person is saying that king, I don't want this thing. That I should be leave out. Okay, I should be set as free. But I want this thing that my sentence, my death sentence should be changed to hanging. अब ये क्या बोल रहा है कि मेरी जो सेंटेंस है ये हैंगिंग में चेंज हो जाए. Now this Tom he became curious कि Tom curious हो जाता है कि क्या तुम्हें you are not to be getting to be executed. Tom asked this thing. Tom, what, aren't you to be hanged anyway? Prisoner, no, I am to be boiled alive. Now this prisoner says कि मुझे क्या करना है, I am not going to be hanged, I am going to be boiled alive means मुझे जिंदा उबाल देना है उन्होंने. Now Tom's look at her foot horrified. अब Tom he was a pauper. अब Tom उसको देखता है, her foot को बहुत ज़्यादा हैरान हो जाता है कि ये क्या punishment है when a person is supposed to be boiled alive. That is so horrified punishment. Her foot, yes, it is true, Your Majesty, but it is so much better than in Germany, where the prisoners lowered into a now. This Hertford does not say anything about. After that, he says कि yes, ये जो punishment है, this man is supposed to be boiled alive, but ये punishment is better than that punishment which other prisoners get in Germany. Tom, enough. I can't allow anyone to face such a hideous death. What the proof against this man? Now this Tom is saying कि इतनी गंदी punishment, so ugly punishment, hideous means ugly, so ugly punishment, मैं ऐसे punishment I can't allow. ठीक है? और main, what was the proof against this man? इस man के against is there any proof? Sheriff, the prisoner was seen leaving the dead man's house 3 times on 3 different occasions by witnesses. An hour after his last visit, the man died a violent death. Now this Tom is asking, is there any proof? The sheriff is saying that there is no proof, but witnesses has said that this man, वो ये जो आदमी है, he has arrived, he has seen leaving the dead man house. जो मर गया आदमी उसके घर से इसको 3 times they have seen him on 3 different occasions. And an hour after his last visit, जब उसने visit किया था the dead man, then that man was dead. Means witnesses said this thing. So Tom. So no one has actually seen him administer the poison. And now Tom says it means कि किसी ने, nobody has seen him actually giving the poison. Nobody has seen. This says, Sheriff, no, Your Highness, but the doctor explained that this kind of death only happens through poisoning. Also, his death was predicted by a witch who said he would be poisoned by a stranger. अब शेरिफ बोलते नो योर हाइनेस, ऐसा तो किसी ने, nobody has seen कि इसने poison दी, he has poisoned him, but एक witch थी, एक witch है, she has predicted, उसने predict किया था कि इसकी जो death होगी poison से होगी और that will be given by a stranger, कोई stranger उसको देगा, poison देगा. तो witnesses. अब Tom prisoner को देखता है, फिर बोलता है this does not look good at all. Do you have anything to say in your defense? अब Tom बोलता है कि ये तो मुझे ठीक नहीं लग रहा है. तो Tom asks this prisoner कि do you have any witness? Do you have any proof to say against this जो on which he is guilty, or do you have any proof? Prisoner, nothing, Your Majesty. I have no friends or evidence with which I can defend myself. अब ये prisoner बोलता है नहीं महाराज, I don't have, मेरे कोई friend नहीं, no evidence है on the basis of which I can prove myself, on the basis of which I can defend myself. I have no such type of proof. I have no means to exhibit my ambitions at that time. I was actually saving a life. I was in fact saving a boy from drowning in the Thames. अब वो बोलते हैं, this prisoner बोलते हैं कि मेरे पास तो I don't have proof, but actually उस time में I was saving a child, saving a boy who was going to be drowned in the Thames River. At that time I was doing that work. I was saving a life of that boy. Narrator. अब narrator क्या है? Narrator with narrating the story. अब Tom क्या करता है? Because Tom has already recognized that person. हमने तो उसको पहले recognize कर लिया था कि इसने he has saved my friend's life. अब Tom क्या करता है? Tom check the date and time. अब तब वो realize करता है कि yes, ये जो prisoner is saying he is correct. क्यों? इस time में जब उसके death has happened, at that time he was saving my friend's Gilswitch from drowning in the Thames. Now. Tom, free the man at once. No one can be sentenced to death on such flimsy ground, especially when he has no means to prove his innocence. Now, अब Tom क्या order करता है कि इसको free कर दिया जाए because he made yes. Now, but Tom says yes. Wait a minute. Now Tom says कि इसको इस basis के ऊपर he should be free because he has no, first of all he has no evidence to prove himself innocent, and second किसी ने उसको, nobody has seen poisoning him, और his flimsy grounds, ये false grounds, on the basis of this false ground this man cannot be hanged, this man cannot be executed. So free the man at once. Now narrator. The court, which had been full of silent spectators, is suddenly abuzz with admiration for the young king's insight and wisdom. अब नाउ जो वहाँ पर लोग स्पेक्टेटर्स से जो लोग थे वो बहुत खुश होते कि वाह इसने कितना अच्छा जस्टिस ही हैज़ गिवन एंड दे वर फुल ऑफ दे अपलॉड to himself. Since there had also been talk of the king having become temporarily insane, the courtiers are relieved to see his vision and clarity. अब now you know this thing that Tom was a pauper and this Edward and Tom they had exchanged their lives. अब बहुत टाइम से अब ये as a pauper तो इसको king का रोल प्ले करना और what are the duties and rights of king तो वहाँ ये थोड़ा सा he was lagging behind. Then what happened? अब सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि अब उसको थोड़ी insane समझने लग पड़े थे. They were thinking that he has temporarily became insane because he was behaving differently. But अब वो सभी देखते हैं कि वाह इसने कितना अच्छा judgment he has given. तो वो सोचते हैं कि they become very happy on the basis of to see his vision and clarity. Tom. अब now Tom what says? Tom बोलते हैं कि अब उस women and girl bring them at once. Bring in the women and the child next. What have these poor souls done? Her food. अब Tom asked this thing. अब उन दोनों को लेकर आओ women and girl को और उन दोनों बेचारों ने क्या किया? What they have done? Her food. Sold themselves to the devil. Your grace, a crime punishable only by hanging. Tom, when, where, and how was this done? अब Harford बोलता है कि उन्होंने क्या किया खुद को they have sold themselves to devil. अब खुद को बेच दिया उन्होंने डेविल के पास बेच दिया. योर ग्रेस और ये क्राइम ऐसा है दैट शुड बी पनिशेबल दे शुड बी हैंग बिकॉज दिस क्राइम इज यू कांट लीव देम. टॉम कैसे हुआ व्हाट हैपेंड एंड व्हेन इट वाज डन. शेरिफ क्या बोलता है दे वर सीन गोइंग इनटू एन ओल्ड ruined church at around midnight, your highness. There they had a tryst with the devil and brought upon such a huge storm in the sea that about 40 people suffered intense losses. Witnesses saw them heading into that church silent, but look at how thick-skinned they are, they deny the crime. Now, Sheriff क्या बोलता है? Sheriff says कि these women and girl, they have seen going into a church around midnight and there they have a tryst, means secret meeting with the devil. And due to that, हमेशा उनको क्या देखा गया है? ये देखा गया कि they are going to a church at around midnight and they are having a secret meeting with the devil. Due to that, due to this, the secret meeting with the devil, a huge storm occurred in the sea, and due to that storm, 40 people they suffered a lot. And but now, sir, look at this thick skin means इतने पतले दुबले पतले लोगों को इनको देखो look at them क्या they are denying their crime. अब ये मना करें कि they have not done this thing. Tom, did these women also suffer as a result of the storm? Now the storm is giving very good judgment. Now he is saying कि इस women is she also suffered from that storm? Is she also suffered from the secret meeting with the devil which she was having? Yes, Sheriff saying, yes sir, but she deserved to have her house blown away for siding with the devil. अब Sheriff क्या बोलता है? Yes sir, she should suffer because due to her meeting with the devil, all the 40 people have suffered, so she should suffer. She deserves this thing. Now, Tom, she would have to be insane to do that and deny herself and her daughter a roof over her head. And if that were the case and she is insane, then she doesn't know what she is doing and thus cannot be declared guilty in the first place. Now, अब Tom बोलता है अगर suppose ये इनकी वजह से this has happened, तो ये should be insane. This should be तो इनकी खुद की छत और this it has blown away. It means तो वो तो insane हो गई, तो she cannot be declared because she don't know what she is doing. So इनके ऊपर की भी छत चली गई. It means she is insane and so she is not guilty of. Now a murmur of awe and appreciation rose among the seated audience. अब सब लोग बहुत खुश होते हैं कि वाह ये तो बहुत अच्छा. A big hand of applause and the seated audience बहुत appreciate करते हैं उसको. An old courtier, ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा लोग they were sitting. तो एक old courtier होता है from among those seated. Is this kind of humanity is madness? Let us all be inflicted by a generous dose of it. Now अब वहाँ पर courtiers बैठे थे. courtier बोलते हैं वहाँ old courtier was there. He says कि इस टाइप की generosity, इस टाइप की दयालुता जो है, this is humanity. तो हम सभी के बन जाते हैं, हम mad बन जाते हैं, सभी के बन जाते हैं, insane बन जाते हैं, ठीक है. Then come to the next page. Okay. Now, yes, the crowd applauds. अब crowd क्या करता है, बहुत clap करता है, बहुत खुश होता है. The crowd applauds. Now, Tom. And now Tom wants to ask this thing कि why, how this has happened, हुआ कैसे, how they have brought the storm, and just how did they cause the storm. अब ये बताओ कि storm आया कैसे, ये जो इन्होंने storm लेकर आए with secret devil, ये how this has happened. Share by pulling off their stocking. Now he is giving the reason by pulling off their stocking. Stockings को हटाया, खींचा, by pulling off, तो storm आ गया. You can say orthodox this superstitions. Tom, this is the most hard to believe. Please use your amazing powers and show us a storm. अब वो Tom बोलता है ये तो बहुत different thing है, such a superstition कि ये कैसे हो सकता है by pulling off stocking, how is storm can come. तो बोलते ठीक है, we want to see this type and please तुम ऐसा करो, ये जो तुम्हारी amazing powers है please हमें बताओ और अपनी stockings को remove करो and bring this storm. Narrator, the nervous woman is brought forward pale and trembling and very reluctant, but Tom is kind and encouraging. अब जो woman थी बहुत डरी हुई थी, she has become pale, तो बहुत डरी हुई थी and वो नहीं करना चाहती थी कि अपनी stockings को हटाए और storm आ जाए, but Tom, she was reluctant, मना कर रही थी ऐसा, she was not starting to doing this. Then but Tom क्या था, he was very kind, he was very generous, वो बोलता कोई बात नहीं तुम करो. Tom, go on then, don't be scared. In fact, if you can ever cause a faint gust of breeze, I will release you and your daughter. अब Tom को बोलता है कोई बात नहीं तुम आओ और एक बार start doing this. अगर due to pulling off your stocking, एक sudden gust of breeze भी आया, एक sudden एक झोंका भी आया अगर हवा का, then I will remove you and your daughter. Women sinking down and crying helpless, Your Majesty, I have no such magic in me. I would gladly do anything to save my child, but sadly I have no supernatural powers. अब women बेचारी रोने लग पड़ती है, वो बैठ जाती है, वो बोलते हैं कि Your Majesty, I don't have such type of powers. मेरी कोई ऐसी powers नहीं है. Due to that, such magical powers I don't have. और please अगर suppose ऐसी कोई power होती तो I must have done that. मैंने ये पक्का कर दिया होता to save my child's life. But though I have no supernatural powers. Tom, now go on, then just remove your stocking. Now Tom has ordered them to remove their stocking because they wanted to see the magic in the court. Narrator, the court is quiet as the women and the child pull off their stockings. No storm follows. You know, court was beginning, formal court was there. अब वो क्या करते हैं? Tom उनको he ordered them. अब सारा court उनको देख रहे हैं कि what will happen, storm will come or not. Then Tom क्या narrator बोलता है? Narrator saying अब court बिल्कुल quiet है, जैसे women and girl they remove off their stockings. Then what happened? No storm follows. Even a sudden gust of breeze doesn't follow. Tom, go home, good women. You and your daughter are free. Your powers have deserted you. The day they return, come back and create a storm for me. अब Tom क्या बोलता है? Go home, जाओ घर and go home and then good women. You and your daughter are free because I think your powers have deserted. मुझे लगता है तुम्हारी powers they have left you. And when your powers will come, then you please do come to this court and show us the storm. Show us the magic of having storm by just removing off the stockings. Then all the courtiers cheered loudly for Tom, very happy with his fair behavior and sound justice. Now the court was very happy. They appreciated the king because the storm has dispenses the justice. Tom distributes the justice in a very fair way. All the three were to be executed, but due to the storm's wisdom, due to his vision of clarity, he dispenses justice and free all the three persons. Now as I told you, it is adapted from the Prince and the Pauper. Okay students, I hope you have understood well. Thank you.